the reason why you don't make a plan B is because you would have to make a plan B. And the time that you're making a plan B, you could overly strategize. I'm Christian DelGrosso.
And I'm Kristen McGowan. And you're listening to the Kris and Kris podcast. Welcome, everyone, to episode 2 of the Kris and Kris podcast.
Episode 2, baby.
We're here. We hope you loved episode 1. It was so fun for us.
Yep. We just said that we're going to try not to do a couple things.
It's a learning.
I'm gonna try not to, because after we edited the podcast, I watched it back and I said, you know what I mean, or way too often.
I think we do that in our daily lives a lot, though. So
do I say that much?
I think we both do, and I don't know who started it.
I don't think
you do that. Yeah, like at the end of a sentence.
No, and but not that often though. It was like after every sentence.
Oh.
So we're not going to make that mistake again in episode 2. We're going to try not to use after every sentence. And then what were you saying that you're going to try
and
not to
I
say?
just am just outwardly agreeing on everything. Just yeah. It's like, okay.
No, but that's fine though.
You think? Because I found
that was
it
an
maybe
issue.
to be a little much.
No,
but
I didn't think that was an issue. What do you mean? If we're talking about something, you're going to need to respond.
Right.
Yeah,
no, you're right. Because I can't just nod or else if you're listening, you'll never know that I'm like, yeah. Anyways, guys, happy Monday. We hope you had a great weekend. We wanted to do like a little weekend recap, discuss what we like to do on the weekends. And then
we did a lot this weekend. We were extremely active.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Extremely. No.
It was like relaxing but nice weekend.
Yeah. We went kayaking.
Yeah, that was actually really nice. It was just a beautiful day on, I think it was Saturday. And I'm like, let's just go out kayaking. We got kayaks for Christmas, which is really fun.
We mentioned that in the first episode.
Yes, I think we did. Yeah. So,
and our lake is really strict with.
Okay, maybe no more lake details on everything about the lake.
We're just giving away the lake 100%. So the lake specifically is this, and this. No, I'm not gonna give too much detail. Kristen's always concerned with like how much I talk about the lake and publicize it, but the lake that we're on is really strict with what they allow on and off the lake. Like if you have kayaks, you can't have the kayaks, take them to the beach, and then bring them back on the lake.
Yeah, they have to stay in that water and not touch any other body of water.
Right, because they have a mussel problem or something. There's something about bringing like contaminations into the lake.
Every single detail.
I'm just saying that
about the lake.
I'm just saying that we only can really kayak on the lake.
Oh, okay. That's the point you're making? Okay, yeah. So I asked Christian, do you want to come kayaking with me? And because I'm not going to go alone. I don't think that's safe of me to just go kayaking by myself, just in case, So you're my kayaking partner, obviously. Yeah. And we decided to just kayak around a little bit. We kind of do a little bit of turtle hunting. And it's not hunting. It's just turtle watching.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, no, we're not turtle hunting.
We go around turtle hunting.
We don't go turtle hunting.
No. Well,
we call it turtle hunting.
On the lake, there's lots of rocks and like rock beds on the canals and stuff. On the canals and stuff. So and there's always families of turtles that are like lounging on there.
So cute. They like to sunbathe. So we just
look we scare them.
Oh, they hate people.
They hate people.
It's so sad.
The second you come around the corner and we're like, oh my God, there's a turtle.
We're like, be quiet. We'll stop talking.
Like slowly. Yeah. But they see you from a mile away. Like these turtles will give you the eye and then. Boop,
oh, it's so sad. They dive. It's so funny. And we just go, bye, Franklin. So we spend like half the time kayaking looking for turtles.
Yep.
And then we get a little bit tired and we decided, let's just connect our kayaks together and just float down and see where it takes us. Yeah. And the current was pretty strong that day. Relaxing.
We just held onto each other's, what are they called? Like the handles? On the side of the canoes and the kayaks. And we literally floated for like the entire lake pretty much. It was so
nice. So you think that was like the best part?
It was. And it's really crazy to see how the current will take you along like its path. Yeah. You don't just float in any direction. It's like your kayak. We literally followed this current all the way around, like in a canal, kind of back out.
Yeah, we weren't we weren't bumping into anything. Yeah.
Yeah, which is really weird. Yeah. But then you see the current on the lake, and you're like, oh, okay, it makes sense. We're following this. Yeah. This current.
It was so nice though. Like I feel like I could do that every day. Just sit in a kayak and float. I always say that like, because I'm just there for the scenery and for the relaxation and being outside. You know, my concern is, are we getting a suntan? And it's so funny because, you know, if we go sea doing, is it called sea doing or jet skiing? Christian's there for the speed and for the fun, and I'm there to just look around.
Yeah.
So
when we rent jet skis.
Yeah.
We don't own any.
We
jet
don't
skis.
own jet skis.
No.
But I don't think I would though. I think I like the leisurely slow things.
My parents own jet skis now.
Yeah, they are jet skiers.
They're psychopaths now when it comes to jet skiing.
They like going fast.
Yeah, and they go out often.
Every weekend, pretty much.
They have the trailer, and they put the jet skis up, load them up, and they go and do the lakes in Toronto.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Because they never really would have ever done that. Now seeing them do it, you're like, oh,
wow,
wow,
this is amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, it's so nice to just be outside in nature and have an outdoor activity.
But how can you jet ski and not like the speed? Kristen's going out there like it's a paddle boat.
Yeah, I'm just there for the boat ride.
Yeah, but it's not a boat ride, though. It's a jet ski.
That's why we have kayaks.
Right. But when we were up in, we went up to Arrowhead.
Yeah.
When my parents were in town, we went up to Arrowhead and we rented the jet skis there. And, you know, I'm just blowing it back, just flying.
Or Big Bear, because you can't rent them in Lake Arrowhead.
Was it Big Bear?
Yeah, it was Big Bear. Yeah, we rented the cabin up there.
It was on Big Bear, those jet skis?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm losing
Remember we took the ferry boat in Lake Arrowhead, right. And you were not into it.
I loved it.
You looked very uninterested.
Well, it's slow.
And I was like, hello, this guy is giving us a tour and you look very uninterested.
You're just getting right now the contrast of slow versus speed. Everything we're talking about is like, it's a tour. And I'm like, it was slow.
Christian has fell asleep on so many tours.
I've fallen asleep on every tour we ever done.
I feel like I have cat hair all over my face.
Let me see. No.
Okay.
Yeah, you look clean. Maybe your shirt, because you're picking up. Because Kristen was hugging the heck out of the cats before we went.
We have two cats, by the way. Just to
have hair on it. Yeah. But yeah, no, we went jet skiing and like I'm flying on this thing and Kristen's behind me.
Yeah.
And I'm just flying, like having the blast, screaming like woo, like having a good time screaming. And Kristen's on the back screaming, not having a good time. So I'm like having a blast and she's like, no.
I spend the whole time just yelling, slow down.
Yeah, just yelling no.
But
that's on a calm lake too.
You know, I don't think you know what it feels like to be on the back of a speeding.
I don't, because I've never usually, you know.
You would not like it, I'm telling you. But we did good.
I actually went on the back with Amanda at Amanda's house.
That was scary. She goes fast.
Yeah.
She goes so fast.
No, I was holding on for dear life back there. And I was facing the other way too. So she had
Same.
me face the
I was
other
like,
way.
this is so dangerous. Like, why are we doing
fly
this?
Off.
Facing the blow up thing in the back. Oh my gosh. There's some things that we do and I'm like, we should not have done that, you know?
Live life on the edge, baby.
No.
Just high five to
Live life on the edge, baby.
But yeah, we went kayaking. We checked out that
the vintage market.
That vintage market. We've never been to that one before.
It's not new. I've seen it for years, but like new to us. Yeah. I actually drove by a sign that said vintage market this Saturday and I'm like, oh. So when I got to a stoplight, I like put it in my reminders on my phone, which I never use, by the way. I need to start using that.
Right.
But
it's a great app.
It worked. Yeah. It reminded me.
You can literally use Siri. You can say, hey Siri, set a reminder tomorrow at 9 a.m. to do da da da, and it will literally it'll narrate and save the text of what you have to do, and it'll set an alarm reminder for you. So it's like the fastest way to set something.
Does it set a reminder for like the exact hour it needs to be happening, or does it give you like a 20-minute notice?
No, it's a reminder.
It's like it's happening right now.
Well, you would have to set it for the notice.
Oh,
you know, if you had something at 9, you would say set a reminder at 8:30 to get ready for.
Okay, these are the things I still need to learn.
Details.
But yeah, we saved the event, and I'm like, oh, I want to just go and check it out. The vintage markets in Los Angeles are amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know where these people get these things.
I got the shirt from there.
Oh you did. Okay. Did you
I
plan this to?
I actually didn't.
Wow.
But it just worked out.
So
we have evidence.
I knew Christian would want to come because he wants to look for vintage shirts and just clothes, and I'm there for like the furniture and like what cool decor can I find.
You ended up getting
I found this really cool.
Nice picture frame.
It was a picture
and piece of art inside of it.
Yeah, with the art inside. I got it for the art inside. It was really pretty. It's called, I think it's like needlepoint or something.
Yeah.
It had a lot of texture in it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I wanted to add it.
You paid what for it?
Okay, so this is the thing. I don't know still how to do all this stuff, but the guy goes, I asked him, how much is this? By the way, we got there really late. They're ready to close down.
We were there
way too late. Yeah, so not prime time.
Yeah.
Anyways, he's ready to pack up, and I'm like, oh, excuse me, how much is this? And he was like, well, how much would you pay for it? or something like that. Or how much do you think it is? And I'm like, okay, I could really offend somebody right now by saying it's worth $5, or it's like, oh, this looks like it's $75.
It's kind of a really like crappy place to put you in, to be like, hey, how much do you think this is worth? Because you're a vendor here selling
like have a price tag on it, or like something in mind.
Did you not have a price tag on it?
No, that's why I turned it around, and then it just felt so awkward. I'm literally sitting there going, pretending I'm analyzing it. Meanwhile, I'm not. I'm like, I'm not paying more than $15 for this.
Right.
So I said 15. I feel like I still could have got it for 10.
No, I think he had it up for $5 or $10 because
I think he was like offended because he was like,
he took $15.
Well, this is handmade and all this stuff. And I was like,
yeah, but he sold it to you for $15. He took the $15.
Yeah, he said to me,
if it wasn't worth him to sell it to you at $15, why would they waste their time and money? They could literally put it back up at another
if it was really worth that. Yeah,
if they could get like 30 for it, you're not going to take 15. You'd just be like, okay, no, thank you.
Because he was like,
he took it. So I think he actually had it listed for less.
Oh my god! I'll never know. I don't like that.
At the same time, though, $15 for a really nice piece of art and a picture frame, and it works well in the house.
Yeah, I really like it. But he said to me something like, "Yeah, we're closing anyways, so at least I'm selling it." Or something about that of like, at least I'm making something. So I'm like, okay, I feel like he's kind of offended that I said $15, but who knows? It was 1,000,000 degrees that day too. So we were just,
oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. The heat wave's back or something.
It was 99 or something like that.
Yeah.
It was hot.
Yeah. That's a hot area too.
Like I couldn't breathe almost. Walking around, I felt my breath was heavier.
Yeah.
Like I had to.
We left because you're like, we need to get water.
Yeah. No, I couldn't. You can't be out for that long without drinking. We were there freaking walking around for a minute, and it was hot, and your hair was stuck to your neck.
You only know that detail because I said that.
Kristen's hair was just like
it's
wrapped
like wearing
a
a rug on your neck in the heat. It's crazy. But they have different vintage markets everywhere, like different cities on Sundays, and they switch Sundays. So you have to kind of like find them and plan out your weekend. But I want to go to more and at like 9 a.m., not 1:30, and it closes at 2.
Well, we always end up later in the day deciding we're going to go do something.
I know. Yeah.
We're not like waking up first thing in the morning on a Saturday being like, we got to go to the vintage market at 8 a.m.
I know.
That would mean we're getting really old.
I know, but it's kind of fun.
Saturday morning, waking up at 7 a.m.
Wait.
Let's go get things at a vintage market.
Wasn't that the same day that I made the soup? I woke up early, went grocery shopping, or maybe that was the next day.
It was the day before, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah. But it was like an old lady like
Kristen
weekend.
Made soup. We went kayaking to hunt turtles. And we went to a vintage market.
Oh my God, that sounds so old.
But what do young people do anymore?
Oh, I don't know, but they're way cooler than us.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
They are way cooler. I'm not going to deny it.
Yeah.
They're way cooler.
Yeah.
Not to say that I wasn't cool when I was hip and young. But
I don't really know if I was ever really that
people
cool.
are probably going to be like, what are you talking about? You're still young. Like, I feel bad because whenever we say that, people are like, wait, but how old are you? And then you tell them your age and they're going.
Who said it the other day? Like, they said, oh, I'm 23 or something. And I'm like, oh, same, you know? And then it's like, I'm not.
And then you realize like, oh, I'm not 23.
Yeah. I was holding our cat earlier today. And I was like, I'm pretty sure he's 6 years old. I'm not certain when his birthday is. I feel bad about that. But
he might be 5.
I think he's 5.5. Last time we talked about it, he was 5.5. He must be 6 soon. I think it's in October or something.
I can just ask. I can ask Karen.
Yeah.
And just be like, hey, when was his litter?
Right.
Born?
We should know that. We should mark it down.
I know.
Anyways,
but
he's like
living and loving him.
Almost 6, and the other one is just 6 months behind him. And it's like, oh my gosh, if we had a kid right now, they would be 6 years old and talking to us, and like it would be crazy, you know?
We probably could have done it.
Oh my gosh, how crazy is that? Like I pick him up, I'm like, you're my baby cat, and he's not a baby.
I think having a 6-year-old right now, we would have been able to do it.
I think
like,
it'd be fun.
We'd be able to handle it for sure.
Yeah.
You know?
Right?
Yeah. On top of everything else we're doing, I think we'd been able to handle it.
Yeah. Here I go more with my yes.
On that, yeah. No, you're agreeing. It's facts. What was I gonna say? Because we did the vintage market, we got some good stuff. And then
we went to the movies too.
We went to go see
Don't Worry, Darling.
Don't Worry, Darling.
That's what it's called, right?
Yep. Good. Don't Worry, Darling.
I've been waiting for that movie to come out, and I saw like on TikTok and stuff, people had different reviews.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool, and I love that time period and like filming in Palm Springs. Never been there, but you're like, where is this place? And I'm like, it's Palm Springs. The whole thing was filmed there.
Yeah.
So pretty. We need to go. Mm-hmm. But
Palm Springs is nice. You would like it.
I love that whole like era of like the pretty hair and the dresses, you know?
That movie had so much drama behind it.
Oh yeah.
So much drama behind it.
I wasn't keeping up with it because I'm like, this is too much to follow.
And you never know the right answers too. Like I've heard so many different sides of the story.
Yeah.
But basically how they fired Shia LaBeouf, or there was issues with him in the cast, or they had to replace him for certain reasons, but there's so many stories. But that's like, I thought that Harry Styles did a pretty good job in it.
I think so too. I don't usually ever watch a movie and go, that person shouldn't have been in it. Like I don't really have that yet. You have a very like analytical.
But that's because I'm more in the space. So I like, when I see specific roles, I envision this perfect person for the role when I'm watching stuff. Mm-hmm. So when I see someone that I feel it when I'm watching them, I'm like, there was someone better for this.
Really?
I feel it. You know what I mean? It's not even like I don't necessarily like that person. I just inside I feel that there was someone better. And then other times I'm like, there was no one better. Yeah. This person was perfect for the role. But yeah, Harry, I was like,
even like Olivia Wilde has a really cool look to her. So I think her character suited that of like, just like that woman that's, I don't even know how to explain it.
Yeah. And she has that even little eerie vibe to her too. Like she could get dark. Yeah. And there are a couple of scenes where you see her and you're like, oh, she's kind of creepy.
I first saw her in The OC.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
She was in that, right?
I forgot about
The
that.
OC, yeah.
Was she in The OC?
Was it The OC or One Tree Hill?
Well, we're going to have to do a little Google here.
I'm pretty sure it was The OC.
But go ahead, continue.
And she was that like, I think she was like a rougher kind of character. But yeah, I really liked her in it. I liked everyone in it. I thought it was really cool.
She was in The OC.
Yeah, that's probably how you know her.
She was
the girl that didn't she live in a trailer?
She was, yeah. Okay, I'm trying to remember because it's been a long time. She was Alex Kelly in the second season. But she was the girl that was going after Seth.
Really?
Right? Because wasn't she getting in between?
I love that show. We need to like watch it all over again.
Yeah, we do.
I watched.
That was Olivia Wilde.
Wow,
I'm blown away.
How cool is that?
I forgot completely.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, anyways, we might see it again because I feel like you might have missed some parts.
I didn't miss any parts. I didn't miss any parts.
Can we just tell everyone what kind of movie watcher you are at the movie theater? And I'm talking about the popcorn.
What do you mean you're talking about the popcorn?
I really feel like you're just there for the popcorn.
I am there for the popcorn. 100%. I genuinely, the first thing I get excited about is getting the popcorn. Like I
know, like you can't even wait. You're like, where's the popcorn? Like freaking out.
Yeah, it's just so good.
And then you like eat it so fast.
Yeah, well, it's good. When I think about going to the movies, the first thing that gets me excited is, there's popcorn. And then I think about the movie.
Wait, that's like so funny. I could like cry laughing. Like it's just so hilarious, like how excited you are about it.
I love popcorn.
Because it comes and then you eat it so fast. And I remember when we were first dating, like I kind of thought you were joking because it was like, whoa.
Kind of got it from my dad.
Like you're like literally mowing this popcorn.
Yeah.
And like, I remember I said, we'll just share one. And you were like, no. Like you should get your own. And I was
we always get our own popcorn. If she's like, we'll share it. I'm like, no, get your own.
He's not into sharing the popcorn.
Nope. Because there's a certain amount of popcorn I need to eat for me to feel fulfilled. So if I know I'm sharing it, I know there's probably going to be a gap between the point that I'm going to be fulfilled with the popcorn and the point that you took it from me.
So this place, they call it bottomless popcorn, which means, don't you think that sounds like refills? To me, that sounds like, you get refills.
I mean, dude, it's so much popcorn anyway.
I know it's so much.
They give it to you in like
embarrassing how much popcorn.
A tin bucket.
Oh, that's so bad.
It's so good. I don't know how
many calories. And then you wake up so thirsty the next day.
It's over. The next day, it's over.
Yeah.
But the movie was good. I thought Harry Styles did well in it. And, I don't like to be judgmental because I feel like a lot of people are coming from the place of like, he's a musician. I
don't care. I don't like that when people say that. It's like they're doing whatever they want to do and they're good at it. So let them do it.
He did great.
Yeah.
I mean, how hard it is to act and get into acting on that level, working amongst those that type people, of cast.
Yeah, that'd be intimidating and scary.
For you to even land somewhere on the same spectrum as them performance wise is good.
Yeah.
So I felt like he did a good job, and I didn't feel like he was an underdog or that he was this musician coming and trying to do a movie. He did well.
I actually found like he didn't really have that many lines. Because I was waiting like, oh, you're probably really going to hear his accent. And it's almost like you don't notice it. Yeah, is there? Yeah, there was.
A lot of,
right. That's the part.
That's not the part I'm thinking about. You
so
funny. You said he didn't have a lot of lines.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, why didn't he have a lot of lines?
He was too busy kissing.
They were kissing.
So funny.
But yeah, no, it was. I liked it. I want to see it again. And the reason why Kristen is saying that I might have missed a few parts, and this is not true at all.
Oh. But we're gonna mention it anyway.
I'm just saying that I might have taken like a mini power nap about 2/3 of the way.
And it was at the important part, and then you nudge me, or I'm pretty sure I woke you up. Something happened.
No, I was up.
And I'm like, because I'm thinking, yeah. And then he said, "What did I miss?" And then I'm like, how do I even explain?
But it was quick.
This
it was like
crazy
a 5,
stuff that just happened. Like, I don't even know how to put it in words. So I'm whispering to you in the movie theater, which I think it sounded like I was yelling. Yeah. Like, was it loud?
We just missed all of this.
Yeah, just recap the whole movie. So, anyways, that was fun.
But I definitely want to see it again. And this is weird too.
We like seeing movies multiple times, though. I think.
But more specifically for the reason that now that you know what the ending is, and now that you know what's happening in this world, I'm not going to spoil it for everybody, but now that you know what's happening, you want to watch it a second time to see if you can pick up on things that would give away that you didn't notice the first time you watched it, that they're in this world. Yeah. Because now I'm like, wait, how did I miss that?
I know. But don't give it all away just in case no one saw it yet.
Yeah, I won't give it all away. Or not
no one, but
basically.
No, but basically. And then, we kind of like stayed up a little late because
we did.
You had like so many self-tapes to do. So it's kind of like my part-time job to be Christian's.
Kristen is my reader.
I'm his reader. Mm-hmm. And it's actually a very stressful job.
It's not even stressful.
I know, maybe that's like disrespectful to say because you're the one actually like putting yourself out and like doing the work and have to memorize and do it well.
And perform. But
it's so scary for me, like reading out loud. And then you're being recorded. I have to do well for you. And if I mess up, then there goes that take. It's like a lot of pressure. So it feels like reading in grade 2 all over again when you have to read your sentence. The worst. Like I would do anything to get out of that. So now I'm just trying to like fake the confidence that I'm good and then redo it.
But you in grade 2, you had to read your sentence because you were being graded.
Or just that was the activity of the day.
No, they wouldn't make you just read just to read. Like, okay, Kristen, go ahead and read and then pass on. They make you read so they can hear you read and see if you're good at reading.
Oh, I was clearly behind. I would memorize any kind of reading.
The point that I'm trying to make is you're not being critiqued.
Well, I am if I mess up.
Your reading is no, you're not. You're not even if you mess up, you're being critiqued.
You literally look at me like, Kristen?
We would have to do this scene over again.
Yeah.
But like you're reading and how you're reading and whatever, no one behind the camera or watching it is critiquing your reading. They don't care about how you're reading it.
Right.
So there is no pressure.
Yeah. So
it's basically free reading. I love reading for people because I'm like, I can read for them and there's no pressure on me. I literally can read.
Oh, that's so nice that you like have that feeling, But anyways, I usually sit on a couch and don't really look at you because I don't want to like make eye contact with you and then it like becomes weird and then you lose track of everything. So I just kind of face my own way and read. So I have no idea what you're doing.
Because I always have like an
eyeline,
a random eyeline that I use, whether it's like a part of the wall or, a picture frame or something.
And then the cats love to watch the self-tapes. Like anytime there's lights and cameras facing in a certain direction, they're there for the show. Yeah. It's so cute.
No, they're there.
But then they ruin takes, they're running around, ripping the carpet out.
Or Henry's by my legs, rubbing up against me in the middle of a take. I'm literally doing this audition and my cat's just like...
But we can't close them behind a door. They don't like closed doors. They would rip the door off, I swear. Like they can't handle that.
Henry has horrible anxiety. He starts to pluck underneath the door. So if you have the door shut and he knows you're on the other side of the door, he literally will stick his hands underneath and go... and just rip it off.
It's so bad.
I literally hear pieces of the door breaking off.
I know.
And then I have to open the door and let him come in, and then he screams at me for a few minutes and leaves.
Yeah. So no closed doors in the house. Like even if you go to the bathroom, their hands are underneath the door trying to get in. It's crazy.
In the bathroom.
It's so like they're so attached.
Trying to use the bathroom and the cat's just
literally
ripping the door open.
Not right now.
It's because we baby them so much.
We really do.
We baby them so much.
They're like, I could cry about my cats every day because they're so cute.
Like, I could cry about my cats every day.
Because they're cuter than any other cat. And I'm like, of course, you're saying that because it's like it's
all the
your
people
cat.
in the comments, get ready.
No, okay, it's not true.
Like, oh yeah, you haven't seen my cat.
Well, exactly. There are some cats out there that are like, whoa. But we have the flat-faced, big-eyed Persian cats that they look like cartoon characters. And every day I look at them going like, how is this real?
Anyone that comes over, anybody
they're like,
that sees
what
them,
is that?
they freak out over them. They're like, wait, what kind of? They've never seen cats like this before.
And they're like dog cats. Like they hang around, they play with dogs if they come over. Like, yeah, they're
really social.
Yeah.
But like I said, we socialize and baby the heck out of them.
Yeah.
Like we don't give them opportunity to be independent.
No, except for when they're napping.
When they're napping. But then Kristen will still go scoop them up. Stu will be knocked out on the bed just trying to nap. And Kristen will go, let me just scoop my cat up and scoop them up.
I just love to carry them, like carrying them just because they won't hug me. So I'm forcing my hugs at them. Yeah. Yeah. They're so cute. They love it. Anyways, that was a longer than expected weekend update.
Eventful weekend.
But I look forward to weekends. I really like to try and like do fun things and socialize or take time for myself on the weekends, you know?
Yeah.
Just to like get out a little bit.
I wanted to mention this really quickly too, and I know we'll probably touch on it at the end of the podcast, but we're going to implement this new way of connecting with you in the comments of the YouTube channel. Obviously, if you're listening, there's not really a comment section, but if you're watching on YouTube, we're going to do at the end of every podcast, we're going to answer some questions and like, incorporate some of anything that you guys are interested in into the podcast at the end. So if you have a question for us, if you have a question for like about yourselves or, anything related to anything that we do, it could be anything.
Yeah. Leave it in the comments section on the YouTube channel, Kris and Kris. And we'll select maybe like 2 or 3. And then
every episode we'll do 2 or 3.
At the end of each episode. So we won't have them this episode because
because now we're going to do it moving forward.
We're going to be like live the next one and we'll see what's coming in.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I love hearing from everyone. It's funny because I literally feel like I know these people like on my channel.
When you see like the regulars of
and
people
I'm like,
that are always
wow,
on your
these
channel.
people are here like every week and I know their names. I know their profile pictures. It's like if I ran into them in real life, I'd be like, they know me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, I have those people too.
Yeah,
it's funny
so
because I ended up being close with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now they're in my Discord channel and we're always chatting. So it's like there's a really big chunk, a good handful of people that have been watching me for years that now I'm like familiar with and talk to like pretty regularly, which is funny.
I feel that way of like, I get so excited about people's YouTube channels too. Like, remember I like ran downstairs one day because this YouTube channel like answered me and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Who was it again?
They're like, they used to be a van life channel.
Okay.
But they're from Canada. So I just felt like, I know where they are. Like I kind of get them. And yeah, I still watch them. I really like them. So they answered me on something and I'm like, oh my God. Or maybe it was the sailing channel. I watched the sailing channel too. So
yeah, I remember you ran downstairs and you showed me.
Yeah.
And like they responded to my comment.
Yeah, I was so excited.
Yeah.
So
that's hilarious.
Yeah. But anyways, in today's episode, we wanted to kind of touch on our 20s and like what happens in your 20s, navigating your 20s and just different topics that we feel strongly about.
Right.
Like I'll just mention the first one.
Yeah.
Moving out of your hometown.
Moving out of your hometown.
And the home.
We talked about this over the weekend too.
Yeah, we went for a walk and it just came up and I felt like it was a pretty strong conversation on our thoughts on how we feel on moving out of your hometown.
I brought it up.
Did you? Yeah, you might have. Yeah.
I did.
This is your,
It was a talking point that I, just threw out there.
Yeah.
Not a big deal or anything. But yeah, we were talking about moving out of your hometown.
And how we think it's like important and it's something you should do in your 20s because it really helps like, okay, so many things.
And this doesn't just mean like moving out of your state or your country. I mean,
no, you don't have to do a crazy move like that.
Yeah, I don't want people to, misconstrue that for, I can't pick up and move to Nebraska.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we were talking about the importance of moving out of your hometown. And for me, why it was so impactful. This is another, like, it's a personal thing too,
Yeah.
But why it was so impactful for me was because I got to experience more of the world, which influenced me and helped me grow more as a person that I feel like I would not have been able to do.
You wouldn't have been exposed to.
Yes. I'm so much wiser now and more in tune and just understand things I feel like I would have never been able to understand had I not expanded my horizon.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about that and how it's really interesting because
usually, sorry, did I?
Yeah, go ahead. No, you didn't. Go ahead.
Okay. Usually, like, what is it? 18 to 22. That time, you're usually. Well, I don't know about anymore, but it was like college, university time.
Yeah,
so
up.
at that point, a lot of people are moving out of their house anyways, which I think is so important. Like,
and me, I moved countries at 19.
Yeah. So at least you did that though. Like if you didn't do it, you probably would still be in the same kind of realm that you were before. But, you know, moving out just to college, even if it's just in a different city, you're at least away from everything you know, meeting new people, having to like fend for yourself. You just learn so much more that you wouldn't if you're just being protected in your bubble.
Yeah, there's a level of independence.
Yeah.
That you
gain from that. Yeah, and I just think it's so important. Like, it's funny that people are like, "Oh, your 20s, like that's the best time of your life," and I don't know. Like I can see that, but then I'm also like, it's also the most stressful time of your life, I think, because
it doesn't have to be.
We're
but
still
yeah,
in our 20s, but it's like that is the time where you literally have to figure out everything that's important to you in life.
But
which
you don't
is crazy.
though. But that's the thing is you don't.
You don't have to. I know that pressure.
It's
like it
such
shouldn't be like that.
That's the thing too.
Yeah,
like, that's another thing.
I just said it then. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the problem.
No. But it's a conditioned pressure that doesn't have to be there. But even you saying it,
like
I'm
my
sure
heart races like thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, stress.
You think you? Well, I mean, look, there. Yes and no, because there's a couple different like even body clocks, right?
Yeah, there's that too.
Like for a woman, like if you want to have kids and that's on your radar and you want to have kids, the obviously there's a more prime time to have kids than having them later. You can have them later.
Yeah.
But everyone always has this, and again, it's a conditioning thing where they think like by the time I'm 30, I need to at least be, starting to have kids then. I can't wait longer than that, which is not true at all. But it's a conditioning. It make people think that they have to do that. And the same thing with like in their 20s, having to figure out their career and their lives and what direction they're going in and their family and their friend groups and all this stuff. When I moved from Canada to LA at 19, I really didn't have anything figured out in the slightest. Like there wasn't even a general direction that I was certain of that I had to take. I was passionate about the arts, obviously, and acting and film and stuff like that. So I knew I really badly wanted to do that, but that's the goal. But what does your life look like right now in order to create these things for yourself for the future? And that's where things get stressful because it's like, what do I have to do now to do this, and this to prepare for this? But
it's funny because you do these things and you don't realize that you're building them as you're doing them, but you doing all those things is you building your life. Meanwhile, at the time, it just feels like you've made this decision and you don't even know where it's going to lead. But so it's always those little things, even though that's not little, but that it changes everything for you.
Yeah. But yeah, moving out of your hometown or taking like a little leap of faith to change a scenery, I think is extremely important.
And it widens broadens your mind too of just like, different people, different life choices, opinions, views, everything. Like when you're exposed to more people, I think it's so healthy. I kind of think about it back to like, I grew up in like a public elementary school with every religion, every race, every, age, whatever. And you're exposed and you're so accepting of everyone because they're your friends. And like, that's just like your normal.
No,
and then
our
when you
upbringing
get,
was so good.
If you only are exposed to one thing, you get a little bit more of a closed off mind. It's a little, maybe too sheltered sometimes. So I think being exposed to as much as possible sometimes is best. But I don't know. I also feel like I came from a family where like they moved out of their homes early. So it's like that was kind of normal.
Yeah, your dad came all the way from Scotland.
Yeah, at 22. So it was 22. Like, it's not like they encouraged me to like, oh, you should go do that too. But it wasn't it wasn't like not talked about. Like it was like, yeah, you just do whatever you think you need to do.
Right.
So even coming here, like I remember the time I told my mom, I think I'm going to move to Los Angeles. Like when I came back from visiting you one time, and she was like, I knew you were going to say that. You know, like there's just a feeling that's like, okay, that's probably where she's going to end up being.
Right.
Yeah.
But life was so much different back then.
I know.
You know, and you were still living in like more of the bubble.
Yeah.
And I was out here, and when you experience it for the first time, right? Because obviously traveling is different.
Yeah.
When you travel, sometimes you get inspired by traveling. When you travel somewhere, if you like travel out of country to another state, or out of country to another country, or out of state to another state, you know can see an area or a culture that you kind of are gravitating towards. Like, oh, I could see myself actually living here and spending more time here. I feel like it's different when you go to spend more time with someone who is actually living somewhere versus you traveling to a place, because you coming out here and staying with me when you were going back and forth.
Do you remember that? We used to like fight a lot.
Yeah. Well, we didn't fight a lot. It was
not
just
a lot,
like
but it's
trying
like,
to figure it out.
But it was harder because you were exposed to this new thing that I wasn't. And then it was like, whoa, I'm the one with this closed mind of what all these possibilities are. What are you doing? Like, so it's harder. This is kind of what we were talking about. It's harder to connect with people on a deeper level that haven't been exposed to more and that do have more of a sheltered mind, because they're not seeing things in the same way you are. So it's people are going to kind of collide at that point.
But you coming to visit back and forth from Canada to LA and coming out with me and being exposed to the life that I was living, you start to, you start to
kind of like,
you start to conjure up that, oh, I kind of, I like this a lot.
Yeah.
And
and just people and industry people, and just like you're exposed to so much of like what's out there.
Dang it. I said it, dude.
I feel like we've been saying it this whole time.
I didn't say we're going to watch when I go back to watch this back, if I see too many times, everybody has to take a shot for how many times I said but including me.
You know what? Does that count too? You know what?
No.
Okay, well, a lot of people say on their first podcast they like edit it down so much, like cut, like I said too much of this and that.
Right.
We're not cutting anything. We didn't cut anything really. We cut one part when I was just talking to you about like, hey, what else?
Oh yeah,
that's it
on the first episode. Yeah.
It's not like we were cutting as we were going. So this is just us.
But yeah, I've been infatuated and like spent so much time working on myself and constantly exploring new realms, because I have this obsession now with growth, and I always will try to encourage the people around me to not be so close-minded and to spend more time listening, because we were actually talking about this on the way here. It blows my mind that there's people out there that act like they know everything and will be sitting at tables with people that actually know about things and pretend like they know the same amount of things that those people know, and think that that's like normal and that's okay, that they're operating and living their life like that. Well, I think I said this too in the car. I don't go and sit at tables with people that know things that I don't know and pretend like I know them. Well, we spoke about this in the first episode. Yeah, but that was more about like conversation. I mean, more about like leveling with people. Because there are people out there. You're going to meet people in your life that are in a much deeper spiritual place than you are, wisdom place, knowledge place. There's all these things, and you can't like try to level with everybody. There's a point where you have to start to learn. And that goes back to the point of like moving out of your hometown
and just having an open mind to it, and not just blocking things out because it's new or whatever. Yeah. You know? Yeah. You know? I know. Do you know? But it's just I would say our point with all that is like we encourage people to like go try that, go move there, go take that job somewhere else. Go to school in a different state. Like every time I hear people just like, if I ever meet moms or whatever, and they're like, oh, my daughter's going to school in New York. I'm like, that's amazing. So cool. Like she's never been there before and it's going to be all new. She's going to meet all these people. I don't even remember who I'm referring to at this point, but I just think that that's amazing when people go and try things. And I'm the biggest encourager of like, yeah, go do it. Like I would never tell someone, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? No. Just go try it and just... You always had this mentality of I've been the risk taker. What's the line of, if I don't do it now, I don't want to look back and regret it. That was like your biggest thing. You said that when you were 18 years old. Like, I just need to do this. so that I can't look back when I'm older and go, why didn't I try that? It's too late now.
Yeah, I've always been...
You kind of lived on that.
Yeah. I've always been a very special person.
Well, you're kind of just like
I've always had this, I've had this... We talk about this all the time, too, because just intuitively, I feel awkwardly connected to things to where I'm trying to figure it out. There are things that'll happen to me in my life that I feel these deeper meanings and connections to that your average person just wouldn't see that as something to like look deeper on or ponder. Mm-hmm. But I have these just moments and things that happen to me in different places in my life that like they give me this feeling inside that I need to act on stuff. And at a young age too, I always just had that feeling of like there's things that I know that I want and that I want to accomplish in my life and passions that I have that I knew that at such a young age that I needed to start to try to conquer these now, because I didn't want to, fast forward to my older age, look back and think I had my youth and I had this young mind that was ambitious and ready to conquer everything, but I let insecurity or I let something hold me back, or I let friends hold me back, or I let my family hold me back, or I just...
So interesting that you would think that back then, because think about like who you were back then. It's like you were thinking about like, I don't know, that's just like a deeper level of it. Because I remember just sitting there going, well, what's going to be your plan B? That was literally my life.
Yeah.
Remember that? You'd get so bad. She was so mad about like, there is no plan B. Like it's only plan A and we're going for it,
I still say that to this day.
Yeah, you're like, don't plan for plan B because you're just going to go on the plan B path then. Like plan for the
point of not planning for plan B.
I get that now though. I did not at the time, and I was like, how could he be so risky? And the
reason why you don't make a plan B is because you would have to make a plan B. And the time that you're making a plan B, you could overly strategize more plan A and execute it way more aggressively, spend more time on plan A. And here's the thing.
And when you risk everything like that for only plan A and there is no backup plan, then you kind of have to do it. Like in your head and in your everything you have, it's like, well, this is all I have.
That's all you have.
Yeah.
And
so
to be honest,
I just remember you saying those things and I was like, how does he not have a backup plan?
He is crazy.
He's crazy.
He is out of control, unhinged. We need to send him to a psych ward.
That came from my sheltered mind. Now, moving out, seeing all these new people, whatever.
And it's you like, having your plan A.
Yeah, and then, yeah, exactly.
You having your plan A. You're not thinking
I'm
about...
like, what plan?
Yeah. No.
I know.
Hello? But you're not like thinking, oh, if this goes south. This has become who you are. This has become your life.
Yeah. I do have that lingering thing in my head. You, not so much. You still don't have that. You're just like, we're doing it. And I'm like, what if this and what if that? Yeah. Maybe it's a girl thing. I don't know.
No, I mean, it's just, again, comes down to like the minor insecurities, conditioning, blah, 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 whatever. But the most successful people, and I stand by this, the most successful people that you see and that you know and that you're fans of, those are the people that never had the plan Bs.
Yeah.
Every single person, whether it be Drake, your favorite actor, anything, artist, all of those people put their head in the mud and never looked back.
In the mud.
Yeah, in the mud. Dude.
In the mud is like a gaming term, right?
No, it could be multiple things.
Really?
In the mud,
because you said that to somebody that I'm like, they don't game. Like, is he gonna know what he's talking about? No,
like there's different meanings for getting in the mud. Like getting in the mud meaning like you're gonna go in the trenches and.
Oh, okay, that's referring. Okay, yeah.
Getting in the mud meaning like you're getting into getting into the muddy hours, which is like the late hours of the night.
My worst times of the day.
The muddy hours. But yeah, no, all the most, like, just for inspiration purposes, all the most successful people and the people that are accomplishing things that you want to accomplish, they only have their plan A, and they've always only had their plan A. And those are the most successful people. And that's what inspires me, is that I look at all these people and they didn't have another plan. They had the only goal that they had. And when you have that one goal and you only strive towards that one goal and you put all your time into that one goal, I can almost guarantee you there's a very, very small chance that you will fail at that one goal. The people that stop, the people that quit, right? Mm-hmm. To go to try to figure out a plan B or whatever, those are the people that never see it through.
So sad. Like,
you know
that
what I mean?
Sounds like, yeah.
And again,
it's true.
Again,
like,
it's circumstantial though too.
Yeah.
We can't sit here and act all high and mighty like, this is the only way.
No.
And if you only do this, you'll be fine.
Sometimes people's plan Bs end up being better than the plan A, and that's great.
I've seen so many people, including friends of mine, have lives that they've always dreamed of go south because of issues that they've ran into, friends, families getting sick, parents passing away, stuff like that have really halted their progression. That's stuff that you can't avoid.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like that's something that your plan A does get interrupted. Like that's stuff that you have to tend to, and that's life.
But the plan A thing is more of a mentality, not like you gotta do it or it's over. It's more just like that mentality of like you're willing to do it all. And that's what I would say the 20s are the best for, because it is a riskier thing to try this in your 40s. Maybe you have kids and there's so much more responsibility. When there's less responsibility and it's really all about you, then you can try these things. And that's why like the 20s for that reason are good for like experimenting, growing, doing these things, going full force.
Yeah.
I would say that's how we spend our 20s. Sometimes I think, ooh, like, are we working too much? Do we just work all the time?
Yeah.
Like no, and then we go kayaking.
Yeah. No, because it's work-life balance.
Yeah.
But my other mentality too is like you should be grinding when you're young to some degree. You know what I mean? If it's saving money, save your money. You know, if you're taking an extra job to you know, give yourself more financial freedom and you know, continue to save. I know we're just not only talking about money, but like I think your future is more important than your present when you're young, because
really?
Yes. Oh, but okay.
Because I feel like you know what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Like that sounds like a little like,
no.
What if you know you don't get tomorrow and
right.
stuff like that?
Yeah, right. 100%. Okay, so let me explain a little bit more. I think that
why do I feel like I could cry? Like,
no,
that's
don't cry.
So sad.
Don't cry.
That.
But being where we are at now, I think about.
Don't cry.
Yeah, being where we are at now, I think about what's the most important thing for me now, and that's like to start a family. You know what I'm saying? I want to have kids. I want to do all that stuff, and that's honestly the most important thing to me now. And thinking back to my youth and all the stuff I did when I was younger, like there's experiences that you can have. You can party and have fun and travel the world if that's what you want to do and do all this stuff. But for me, I'm thinking, how can I create the best future for my family, which is the most important thing for me. And I would much rather have my kids be able to live their lives and not have any burdens or any setbacks or anything like that than me get to have extra good times now that I'm young. You know
I agree with you in that way too. Like but we really want to be present, and I feel like that's the biggest thing of we could keep working our whole lives, like that's fine. But
when we do have kids,
we want to be there.
You want to be there, and growing up, like my parents did an excellent job, and so did your parents. But they both worked heavy jobs. My parents both worked extremely heavy jobs, still work heavy jobs. And there is a lot of time where, you know, you lose out on getting to grow with your family, especially your parents. And those are like, honestly, family is just at the end of the day, the most important thing.
Yeah. And kids don't realize usually anyways, unless it's like really like your parents are workaholics, but we always do say like,
but you see some of our friends,
we want to plan for kids in the way of like, to be able to have kids and all that, but also
spend time with them,
to be able to be present with them and be there and not be like, I should be doing this and that, you know, because that's sad. And
that's kind of why we haven't had kids already.
Yeah.
Is because we just have so much more planning and stuff we want to get done now.
Yeah.
So that we can get to enjoy our family and our kids when we're older. And that, again, that's a realization. You have to come to that realization.
Plus, I just moved here this year, so.
Yeah. Right. Imagine.
You know what I mean? Like,
get to it.
That's kind of why too. Like, if people have all these questions, it's like, well, we've just literally figured out so many different things. Yeah. So,
well, no, the future. Not this year. It's like 2 years ago.
No, it was literally last October.
Well, it was last October.
1 year, or not even yet. Yeah.
Wow.
So crazy.
It's crazy.
I know.
But yeah, we see like friends of ours that have kids and they have more stable lives and work from home and, you know, have their stuff they have going on. And you just see their relationships with their kids and they have this really like beautiful relationship with their kids that you can tell that relationship only exists because they have more time together. So they're able to build that relationship more. Versus being so disconnected, being school all day long, and then your parents work extremely late, and then your time that you get to spend with them isn't as it's impactful, but not as impactful over time because it's little fragments of time over time. Yeah. Versus having like big chunks of time every day and getting to raise your, you know, I don't know. That's just a realization that I came to. But yeah, no, like enjoy your 20s and.
But then you know, there's a side of me that's like, oh my gosh, everyone's in Italy and like, I wish I was there, but I'm here working. Or like,
no, but you can still do all that stuff.
I know. There's still things like that.
Work-life balance.
Work-life balance. I am all for work-life balance. Like, I'm like, that is the most important thing.
Yeah.
To me, really, if I get too stressed out, I'm like, no more. This is like, I'm cutting it off. I'm doing a weekend, whatever.
Yeah.
Because some weekends we do work. And or most weekends,
every weekend,
every day,
did 17 auditions on a weekend,
but
the whole weekend just sitting there,
literally
dialogue, just going through 80 pages of dialogue.
Yeah, we work every weekend, but sometimes like obviously work goes on Monday and stuff, but sometimes I like take Monday to myself or like just like regroup a little bit because I was like, okay, nonstop all the time,
no, you have
and that's
to.
Not fun. So you need to like take a second.
And I watched mental health.
I was listening to Mr. Beast talk about something, and he was talking to somebody else, I think, on a podcast, and he was like, I just work until I get to the point of like, oh my God, I'm exhausted. And then I take the weekend, and I'm like, okay, that's too much exhaustion. I need to like kind of have it planned out. And that's why I think weekends are great when people like are just there to have fun.
And we're the people that don't take weekends.
Well, we kind of do though. Like us doing these things, like we don't go kayaking and go to vintage markets during the week.
No, but how often do we do that on weekends?
I know it's not that much.
Like how often are we kayaking on the weekends? We don't go kayaking. We should 100%. But yeah, I mean, it's when you're in that grind mode and you're working nonstop.
I know, but yeah, it's hard because it's.
Do you know what I was gonna say?
The hustles of the 20s, but it doesn't need to be that way.
No, it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. To each their own. You can pick and structure your life however you want.
Yeah.
Like, it just,
And I also think it depends on where you live. Like when you're hustling on a weekend in like back home, it's like, what are you doing working on a weekend? Here, it's like, oh, of course you are.
That's influence though.
True. Yeah.
That's people,
Yeah.
And judgment and all that stuff. So that doesn't even matter.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was gonna say to the last point about your plan A, and being in your 20s and really working towards this plan or this goal, whatever it is that you have.
Right.
Like I started training and acting when I was younger, right? Like coming out of high school, immediately went in to start training. Mm-hmm. And the last like 9 years of me living in LA has been this nonstop grind to work in the film and television space, right? And I've done a bunch of movies.
Yeah.
I've had a lot, like I can't sit here and not.
You can't say that it hasn't happened.
No, yes.
Because it has. You just want more.
Yes. I just there's bigger aspirations for me as a performer. I just feel like unfulfilled because I haven't gotten to do those yet.
Yeah.
But like there was a really, really, really solid chunk of time where I was ready to stop and ready to give up on like acting.
Oh yeah.
There was a solid point.
Was it real? I don't know if I took it as serious back then.
Like I've gone out for hundreds and hundreds of auditions over the last 9 years. Okay, I've probably booked 6 or 7 jobs, right? Which again is that's even saying that is good.
That's really good. Yeah.
But yeah, like I got to do a movie with Fox and Legendary, and I did Willy's Wonderland recently. And to the point that I was gonna make was just before Willy's Wonderland, I had this really big chunk of time where I was struggling mentally and ready to just stop because I was like, I'm putting so much time into this. I'm auditioning, I'm doing self-tapes and all this stuff, and I'm not getting anything out of it.
Yeah.
So much output of energy that I'm not getting anything out of it. And there was a chunk of time where I was like, I don't know if I can continue to do this. Because it's driving me insane. Especially
because auditions and self-tapes make you drop everything you have going on that might be really important or work related, making you money, something, to do this audition that could potentially lead to nothing, which is so hard.
The majority of the time lead to nothing.
Yeah, majority of the time lead to nothing.
And the time that I spent
preparing and
but there was that chunk of time where I was going to stop, and there was just something inside of me that was like, shut up, Christian, and we're just going to keep going. Mm-hmm. I know you want to stop, but we're just going to keep going. Yeah. And I book Willy's Wonderland. And
my God, I just got chills.
And I get Willy's Wonderland.
Crazy.
And that was a major film for me. I was one of the lead roles, working alongside Nicolas Cage, who's an Academy Award winning actor. I don't even think, again, I always think about this because I'm like, are there any other influencers that are also in the film and television space that have ever worked with Oscar award winning actors? I think about that. It was a big accomplishment for me as a performer because
I also like that it was like filming outside of the state so that you could go there and it's like this whole thing.
Yeah,
like,
we filmed in Atlanta for like a month.
Yeah, and you like
the best
I remember
experience.
you sending all the pictures of like the trailers and it was so cool. Like
Yeah.
you just love that and you love being a part of that kind of thing.
Yeah,
and,
I love being a part of I love being a part of a group of people that are creating something
together
cool
and
together.
Everyone's on the same page. Yeah,
I'm always like, whenever I'm on set, I'm always hanging out with the directors and, the crew. I'm helping the crew, and they're like, Christian, you can't be touching this. It's a liability.
You're in the way.
It's a like no, they're like, it's a legal liability.
Oh.
You can't touch this stuff because if you get hurt or something happens, like
Christian's trying to climb ladders.
I'm trying to help the crew. Like I have so much fun on set. On my days off when I wasn't filming,
cute.
I was on set. Like I literally would go to set on my days off and just sit there and watch. But
such a little eager beaver.
Yeah, it's just I love it so much. But there was that point where I was literally really seriously contemplating stopping, and I just continued to just keep pushing, and and that happens.
That's
and I'm
crazy.
like, I've been a fan of Nicolas Cage my whole life. You know what I mean? Getting to work with him and share the stage with him was such a privilege.
I feel like I would just be too nervous. I would just like shut down.
No, he was great. It was so much fun, dude.
Yeah.
He literally, I told you too, like it was so funny. I had my scene where I was like getting killed in Willy's Wonderland.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Yeah. If you haven't seen Willy's Wonderland, watch
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix?
Yeah.
It's on Hulu.
No, Netflix.
I never seen it on Netflix.
What are you talking about?
Is it actually on Netflix?
It's not on Hulu.
No, it's on. I know for sure it's on Hulu. I know that was where the digital release happened. Was on Hulu.
I thought we watched on Netflix.
No, Hulu.
Okay, well,
it's on Hulu.
Someone find it and let us know where it is.
Yeah, or Apple TV. Obviously, you can rent it on Apple TV.
Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah, he's so funny, dude. I was dying in that scene,
right.
But it was continuity, so I had to stay back there
the whole time.
Yeah, so they were
just
like, Christian, you have to like for the next hour, because they were shooting all the wides and getting all the other coverage. For continuity, I had to still be dead in the background. Obviously, I couldn't disappear.
Do they say try not to breathe?
No, I had to literally hold the same position.
But do you have to hold your breath so that your chest isn't going up and down?
I mean, yeah. When they roll, I like try to really like slow it down. You know what I mean?
Passes out.
But you're deep in the background and you can't really see.
Yeah.
But he comes over. It was funny because we just had been working together for a bunch of weeks and we're coming close to the end. And it was the day that they killed me off. And he just comes up to me and like kneels down to me. I'm lying in a pool of blood and he goes, "Oh, Christian, they're killing you off today, huh?" And I was just like, "Yeah, this is it for me."
Day.
I'm like, I'm over here just in this pile of blood, whatever. And he just looks at me. He's like, "Yeah, yep." And then gets over.
What?
And it just
There's nothing to say.
It's just such a surreal moment that you're just like, wow.
He said my name. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But it was fun. But yeah, the point is that like you never know how close you are to getting something that you want until you keep pushing.
And I feel like the world works like that. These waves, I really believe in that. We always talk about these waves. Yeah. But another thing just about the like acting stuff that of course you've done, like, have you done 6 things? Is that the number? I don't really know.
I've done more. I think I did Mono with Fox.
That was
School
cute.
Spirits.
Yeah.
I did Internet Famous. I did Mom.
I actually like School Spirits. Like, remember going to the premiere and I was like, I love that movie. You know?
That's 5. I know that there's
the scary movie, but that was like a short or something.
I've done a bunch of shorts.
Yeah. But I'm just saying most of
5
these
features.
5?
5
okay,
feature films.
Most of these though are, you're playing more of like just a guy your age, like nothing very particular about you. But I think you need to get into something where you're like you're very good at character acting. And I don't know if you agree with me, but I feel like that's kind of where you would shine, because you like, okay, even just you doing the self-tape the other day, I think you did so good. Like, you could totally be those characters. But then I don't know, I see you being like these, like when you watch what's his name, Jim Carrey, and like you literally pointed to me in the movie theater like, I could have played this role. I'm like, you could have. Like, that's one of those things that like super characterized, and like you just have to totally be this thing that doesn't exist. And I feel like you could do that. Like, you just love being these other people. So I would love to see that. Like, you do something really weird and it's like, oh my gosh, he was like this crazy guy, or like, I don't even know how to explain what I'm saying.
I could definitely do it. And the weird thing with me is I feel more connected to myself when I'm not myself.
Yes.
When I'm playing something that's too similar to me, I don't feel connected to it as much.
Yeah.
But when it's stuff that I have to try and
be
and morph myself to, I get this feeling of I'm connecting to it.
Yeah.
I feel more, in tune with what I'm doing. even like makeup and just put like anything transformative for me.
You instantly go into it. Yeah, I think it's funny.
I think it's dangerous. Like it's
like
really
literally
weird.
Okay, so Halloween last year, I'm like going all out for Halloween makeup, whatever. I'm like, you're gonna be the same thing with me. We usually do matching costumes. This year he's like, I'm not doing all that makeup stuff. I'm just gonna be a grandpa. He took grandpa to the next level. Like, we went to this Halloween party. This mask is like so scary looking, and he kept it on all night. It's like one of the masks where you can breathe and see totally. And it's so wrinkled. He has this big pop belly and like just this whole outfit. He puts this costume on and he's in character the entire time. The whole way there in the car, the whole way back. Like, no one even knew you were at the party. They're like, where's Christian? I'm like, he's that guy over there. You know? You weren't even with me the whole time. You were just being grandpa the whole time. Yeah. Dancing like a grandpa. Everything was just, I am grandpa. And then...
That's just fun.
It's so funny. And like, you love it. Like, that was like a game for you. And then every time we do any skits where it's like, oh, you're going to play a girl, like, because you're so much better at it than like me doing a girl part, I give you the dress that you're going to wear, or like we put a wig on and you're in it, you know, you're like, I am her. Like, you're so good at that.
But that's so what's it called?
I could put anything on you and you're like,
but that's like easy. You know what I mean?
No, it's not. I don't put something on and go, oh yeah, I'm a cowgirl.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's not like super challenging for me.
It's so funny though.
Always been a major
like your
fan.
Face changes, you know. You're just you like look at yourself in the mirror like you're a different person.
I mean, and that's just with like my like slight inspiration with you and with other people. You know, that's like not even me putting any. This is my opportunity. But like I've always been a major fan of Daniel Day-Lewis and Johnny Depp and even Heath Ledger. I loved their
Heath Ledger, love him.
Man, I've watched his documentary. I can't even tell you, probably a couple hundred times. And I told you this. Like, I've never, after watching, because you don't know much about somebody, you know what I mean? And it's unfortunate that when people pass away, all of a sudden everybody, you know, tries to learn about them and figure out, you know, oh, what were they like?
That's like me with the Queen right now. Like, I've watched The Crown. Like, I watched every single episode because I'm like, I need to know about this lady. Like, why didn't I look into this earlier?
Right. I know. It's just unfortunate. But that's just because, you know, the world doesn't pay attention until something tragic happens. But Heath Ledger, like, I was obviously very familiar with his career, but didn't know him much as a person. You know, and who would? Yeah. But this documentary, it's called I Am Heath Ledger, pretty sure. But this documentary, I've watched it, I don't know how many times.
Literally so many times.
But it's the closest I've felt to somebody. Like, watching him in that documentary, I felt like I could relate to. There's just a lot of similar interests in the way that he handles people and his relationships. And as a performer, how he was just. I would just watch it and think, wow, what...
You want to be his friend.
We could have been... Yeah, like, we would have understood each other on a level that I feel like not many people would understand.
It's weird because I watched that movie on an airplane, and I'm pretty sure it was to come here. And I was by myself on the airplane, and I told you... This was years ago because this movie's old and older now. And I told you, like, I just kept talking about this Heath Ledger movie. And I remember you saying, like, why do you keep talking about Heath Ledger? Like, I just kept bringing him up. And then it became like, if someone was like, who's your celebrity crush? It's like, Heath Ledger, you know? It's just because I watched this documentary. And then maybe I was like so like into it because he was kind of like you. And then you watched it and then you started obsessing over him. And it's like, oh, now we just both love Heath Ledger.
Well, he had a couple of those heartthrob roles early on, which kind of set him into that tone.
Knight's Tale.
A Knight's Tale. And
10 Things I Hate About You.
10 Things I Hate About You.
So good.
But those films really set him into that tone. Yeah. And he was the type of person that like always wanted a challenge and wanted to do something different. And I feel that way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do the same thing multiple times. No. I'd like to do different things. And
that's why sometimes when these self-tapes and stuff come in, they're like, okay, it's like another one of these characters that is like normal. It's like, okay, cool. Yeah, you can still go out for that and it's going to be like, you could get it or not. But sometimes I'm like looking for those ones that he had to do an audition one time where he had to go in and sing and you were playing a guitar or something. And I'm like, how are you going to go in to like do this in front of people and sing? It's just so scary. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah. Oh, I just like Nikki really, Sixx too.
There's nothing.
Remember Nikki Sixx?
Oh yeah, and he went all out in costume
all
too.
Out. Hair, makeup, everything. Yeah. For Nikki Sixx.
But it is interesting to see like who they cast for things afterwards, because then it's like, oh, okay, they pick someone that's 10 years older than you. Maybe the cast is all older. Just stuff like that. So when you see things, it's like, oh, okay, I understand.
Yeah. Sometimes their structure of the project, they have other things in mind, or they have parents they have to match you to, and
exactly,
it's way more intricate than it is like just performance, because you could give the best performance of your life, but if you're auditioning to play the son of so and so, you need to look like the son of so and so.
Exactly. You know, I think it's good practice though, like all the self-tape stuff. I'm saying self-tapes because auditions are very more they're self-tapes now. Like you videotape yourself at home.
You want to talk about time, dude? Auditioning.
You mean like going in?
To drive, yes.
Oh, that's
not only the prep time, like self-tapes, we can sit there and record on a camera, audition,
pick
and then
the
send
best
it in.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, like
try to
nail a really nice take, send it in. And auditioning, you literally prep all this time. You have to drive there, or if you're Ubering, some people Uber,
so you freak out the whole way there.
Even driving to these auditions, like I'd be practicing my lines the entire drive. So I'm not even really focusing on driving because I'm like trying to remember, okay, I got to there's this moment. I can remember this moment, blah, blah. Because you go in there and you essentially have one shot. If they really, really like what you did, they'll want to maybe see you once or twice more, like, in the same sitting. But you really only have one shot because they're on a time crunch. They have so many people to go through.
I don't know how you do this. Like,
you drive an hour, you prep all this time. You drive sometimes an hour to get into wherever they're holding the casting call. You audition that one scene. If you fumble something, you mess something up and whatever, and they don't have time to have you run it again because they have to move on, you're out. You're back in your car and you're driving an hour home. And then,
oh, that's like, honestly, stress. Hearing that, it's like, I don't know why you signed up for that. Like, that sounds bad.
Because the goal and the ability to get to work and perform just is, it's like a drug. It's so this high that you get from it, it's so rewarding.
That's so crazy.
Like getting to do Willy's Wonderland after all that time of me being like, I don't know if I'm gonna, like, I'm exhausted. Mm-hmm. Getting to do Willy's Wonderland was like, we're back in it. We're right, like the gears are going again, and I'm like, okay, what's the next one?
Yeah.
Because you get that feeling of being on set and working with really awesome people, and you're like, all right, what else are we gonna do now?
Yeah. But it is scary that you have, like, you used to have to go in a lot more. That was the norm. You go in, and I'm like, what do you mean you get one chance, And like, one time you had to sing, and I was like, well, good luck on the singing part, Like, wow.
And it's tough.
And then they just have to sit there. Like, if I was like they're not a judge, right?
Casting
they're like
director.
I feel like I'd be laughing. I'd like literally ruin takes.
America's
the
Got
amount
Talent.
of takes I've ruined from like laughing because I just can't keep it together.
Yeah. And those rooms, dude, sometimes, like, just imagine like this room being cut, like where the cameras are. Okay. Mm-hmm. And there's a door here.
Is that small?
And sometimes because it's an office space like this.
Oh my gosh. And then you go in and you say, can you do just an example of what it'd be like? Like you walk in and then you go, hi.
Yeah, you walk in. So let's just say this is the room.
I'm the judge or the casting director.
I don't know what American Idol.
I want to see what it's like.
I'm the judge.
I need the details.
I'm Simon Cowell.
I'll sit at my desk.
So, okay. So like where the cameras are at would be the room like cut off, right? So there'd be a door there. And this is how tiny it is sometimes. You come in and there would be a little like square or space for you right here. There'd be a camera and a second camera potentially.
A camera?
Yeah, they record the audition.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they have to show. Oh my
gosh, I didn't know that.
They have to show it to the directors and producers.
Wow.
If they like you, right? You have your little space to audition here. You have a camera or a second camera here. Sometimes a couch here or maybe a few chairs. And you have people sitting there like this. You have the reader behind the camera. So you're here.
Wait, so who are you facing?
The reader and the camera. You're reading with the reader.
I always thought you're doing it to the people. You're doing it to the camera?
Yeah. They're there.
Oh my gosh. Why is this the first time I know this?
They're just there to watch. Sometimes there's some casting directors, they'll read with you. If it's just them, they'll read with you, hit record and whatever. But the majority of the time, there's a few different people in that room.
They should go behind a piece of glass or something, give you some like little...
A piece of glass? Just in a fishbowl?
You put, like those two-sided mirrors, like this? Just go behind something so you stop making me nervous. Yeah. I don't know who you are.
I mean, but
that's the job. You're in front of people and...
Yeah. There's no nerve. Dude, I mean, when you're on set, when we're doing Willy's, there's like 40 people standing in front of me like this.
Oh, I don't know if I could do that. That's so scary.
Like this.
Oh my gosh.
All from the entire crew, but that's part of it. You know what I mean? Like that's why you're a performer. You're performing in front of people, But yeah, little space, camera, second camera, girl reading, and people here just sitting, watching you. So you just have eyes on you. And you're reading with this person and you're trying not to mess up. And you're also trying to use the room, for just physicality so they can see you in person. You know what I mean?
Did you ever do anything that's like really weird in there? Like, did you ever do anything really embarrassing where you're like, oh my God, I just like.
Yeah, one time I coughed.
Just fell or something. Oh, okay, that's not bad.
No, I never fallen in there.
Well,
come on.
Well, I don't know.
Jungle gym. But one time I coughed because like, it was a pretty intense scene, and I think I took in too much air. Oh my God. And I was
starts coughing.
And I coughed because I took it and I had to cough, so I coughed. I ended up finishing the scene, and then I told him, I was like, hey, sorry, the cough wasn't supposed to be in there. So I was like, if you want me to do it again without the cough,
we can do it again. Wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah.
Wow.
That's that story for the day.
That's your 20s.
My 20s, in audition rooms.
Wow.
But yeah, no, like it becomes all worth it when you just keep your head down and you grind at the main goal, expose yourself to new environments, new people, become more independent, learn more about yourself always, like don't be reliant on people, relationships, stuff like that. Cause you need to have,
you need to be you. You need to have yourself figured out, especially when it comes to like, I know this is getting into more, but just to quickly say, like, if you're dating and meeting people, like you have to be your best version of yourself to be the best boyfriend or girlfriend for somebody else. So you need to figure out what you want so that you can be a stable person for someone else, I
like that.
Just like this.
Yeah.
I want to show them our new little handshake edition.
What handshake edition?
This one.
That's not a handshake edition.
Me and Christian have a handshake. Just shares.
We came up with that thing on the plane. That's not a handshake.
We do this thing where like we just keep adding to our handshake because we have one, and I can't even remember where we did it, where we like started that. I don't know, but it's pretty good.
High school.
Was it really that far?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't remember creating it, but we just have it now.
Yeah.
Forever.
Well, we're an hour 15 in.
Wow.
Long podcast today.
Yeah. Do you think this is supposed to be about like being in your 20s, and do you think it ended up just being about like acting, or it's fine?
No, I mean, I think yeah, I mean, the most important point is just experiencing more and expanding your horizon.
Yeah.
Because it will always ultimately lead to more growth. There's no way that you expand your horizon and you don't grow at all. It's just impossible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And if we're going to be anybody to anybody, I think we're the encouragers of go and do the thing that you want. Like go and do it. And I think if you don't have people encouraging you in your life, it makes it a lot harder.
But the acting side of things is just perspective on work ethic and struggle and stuff you have to go through, and how your struggle and all that stuff can still lead to reward if you just continue to grind at it. And that not to go into like acting like, oh, now I'm gonna tell my personal acting story, but that's
like
just
that.
Like it's just perspective on there's just so many avenues to this stuff when you're pursuing your dream or the goal that you have in mind that you have to be aware of, and that it doesn't mean that it's the end, or that there's or that you can't accomplish it. Yeah. You can. You just have to keep your head down and keep going, and there's going to be some BS along the way. Yeah. And there's going to be some major successes. You're going to have some major successes along the way, but there's few people that are going to be meant for you in your life. True. Few people that are going to understand you, few people that are going to support you, few people that are going to love you. So choose those people wisely, and remember quality over quantity. There's going to be, you're going to have childhood friends and family members and people that you would think, I've been close with these people for so long, my entire life. These are the people I thought I could fall back on. They might not be those people anymore. And you might see that along your journey to what you want in your life. That's also an exciting thing to think about, because there's people out there that you haven't met yet that might be those people for you, which is so exciting. That's the point that I was going to make, is that the biggest and hardest thing that you may have to go through is that you might realize that the people that you thought loved and cared about you the most don't. And that you need to walk away from those relationships in order to pursue the things that make you happy. But that's okay, because you find people along the way, and you find people that you end up sticking with, and friends that you end up sticking with, and family that you end up sticking with that weren't initially there from the beginning and the start. And that's an unfortunate circumstance, but also a beautiful circumstance, because just because you're with people from whatever long time, it doesn't mean they're the best. No, this is your life. Yeah. You only have my dad used to say this all the time. You only get one kick at the can. Mm-hmm. So what you do right now is ultimately to your benefit or to your demise. You have to make decisions that are going to make you happy in your life, and that are going to serve you the best in your life. You don't want to be making decisions for other people. Who gives a crap?
Yeah.
About what other people think.
In a non-selfish way.
No, in a non-selfish way. It's not about being selfish.
Yeah.
I'm not saying go try to become a billionaire so that you can become a billionaire and then...
Yeah, just because that's your goal.
And then poop on everybody.
But yeah, no, it's not that.
It's not that. It's just if you have something that you look forward to and that you're excited about... And
you have that thing in your mind for a reason.
And people don't support you and they're becoming burdens on you and whatever the case is, they're affecting your pursuit of happiness. That's when you have to make your decisions, walk away from people, do whatever you have to do to continue to pursue it. Mm-hmm. Not in a selfish way. It's in a way that you want to be happy, and if you're pursuing something that ultimately makes you happy, then why not be happy to serve people that don't care about your future and your happiness? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. But yeah, that's all. That was the point to the 20s.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
And this is the longest podcast to date. It's the second podcast
as we say this, I'm kind of excited for our 30s, honestly. We're not there yet, but when we do get there, I'm actually excited for them.
Dirty 30s.
Because dirty 30s. Ew.
That's what people call them.
Why?
They don't say like...
But for what? What does that
30s,
mean?
Dirty 30s. I don't know. I guess it's like the coming out of the 20s and you're just still...
You're just
grounding up all the...
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
The remainder of your
30s
youth.
I feel like will be really nice because that'll be like a really fun time in life. You're growing things and you're just more yourself. Everyone says they feel very confident in themselves in their 30s, and I would see that because I'm feeling more and more that way. Like you care less about everything or people and thoughts and all that stuff, and you're just living for you and your family and whatever. How cute. So fun podcasting, don't you think?
It's great. No, it's fun to
Don't
have
you feel like you're in like a therapy with me?
Mm-hmm. No, I know we talked about this last podcast, but I'm really excited for the future and potentially bringing some people on because I think there's some really, really awesome conversations.
Yeah.
That would be beneficial.
Yeah, it's just cool having other people's podcasts, other people's perspectives.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's so many cool people that I'm like, oh, these would be such awesome people to get to talk to. But yeah.
So excited. So leave us some questions, comments down below in the YouTube comments. And then for the third podcast, we can actually see them and get to those. Or maybe it might be the fourth. I don't know yet. But
no, I think it'll be the third. Because we'll go through it right now in the second one.
Right. Yes, I think you're right. Yeah. So
and then
leave them there and then we'll go through, pick certain people's. And I think that'll be like a nice way to feel connected too.
Yeah, 100%.
The YouTube comment section is my favorite spot. Comment section of everything's my favorite spot.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
But yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Episode 2.
Yeah. We hope you guys have a great week.
Yes. Happy Monday.
Be yourself. Be happy. Put a smile on your face. Hold the door for people. I think it's important holding the door for people. You held the door for so many people the other day and they were like, oh, thank you so much. Like they haven't seen someone do it in a long time. Like hold the door for people.
I'm dead.
What?
That's the last point to wrap up with. You guys have a great week. Hold the door for people.
It's been in my head for a while. Christian, you held the door for people and they were so happy, so I can see their happiness, and I think that should be spread.
Yeah, just help people.
Yeah.
Help people out, Yeah. Hold the door for people.
Hold the door for people.
Make their lives a little less rough that day.
Yeah, just smile at them.
Just hold the door for people.
Smiley people are the best.
We're going to end this podcast with have a great rest of your day and week. Hold the door for people.
And comment on the video if you plan on holding the door for people.
People in the comments, I'm not holding the door for anybody this week.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.